And we're live for an early bird special. I hope to make it a short one like your boyfriend. I am the hostess with the mostest, the High Priestess Phoenix. I am your spiritual healer, teacher, shaman, seer, oracle, lightworker, starseed, earth angel, mystic, medium, psychic, witch, yogi, guru, evangelist, North American Sybil, messenger of God, the first child of God, made of the dirt. I am Lilith reincarnated. In order to keep up with me, you wanted to see my immediate post that I just posted, but all of them leak into this bullshit. I was sitting here, and I watched a squirrel come and try to grab some water off the pavement. And I was like, I need to put some water out for them. And then all of a sudden I got astral traveled in time to Noah. Remember Noah from biblical times? Does anybody deny his story? That's a good one. How can you deny? You guys deny all the stories. That's a good one. And that's where I was like, wow, this is a really good one. I talk with all the prophets. They take me and they show me their visions of the times that they were there and what it looked like so I can bring these stories to you. Where is all this? It's in the cosmic conscious that I was trying, the cauldron of life that I was trying to explain to you last night. And that's where you can access these visions and stuff. The astral world, it's just this ever-flowing energy of time and space. Everything that was ever in time and space is hidden in there. It's like the Akashic Records isn't a library. I guess if people tell you to visualize it as that, then so shall it be. What you think, it becomes. You know what I mean? So that's why we clear our visions and we can see other visions, not just, you know, the terrors of the past and stuff like that, and illusions of a fucking fairy tale future. Guilty. I do both of those. Anyways, you have to live, and that's the liminal, is staying in the present, because that's where the madness is, going too far in the past and looking too far ahead. And that's why all of my teachings have been, like, if you ask what God was trying to teach me, you can see it through all those videos. He was trying to get me to stay in the here and now, to live for today and only today, to only, you know what I mean, to live for today. And it's not so suspenseful where I'm like, oh my God, how am I going to make it through the day? And that's how it started, because you're so used to living in the future and living in the past. And that was all that training, is to stay in the now. And then once you know, as the Holy Spirit that can astral travel like that, that's another thing that'll get you in trouble too. Stay in the here and now. I don't want to be here. My life sucks here. I do not want to be here today. It's nothing going on. It's just I don't want to sit with my feelings. That's all I'm ever asked to do. He just sent me here. Eventually he'll give me an impulse, you know, he'll give me an idea or a task or something, or the family needs something. But otherwise, there's no drive. There's no ambition. There's no nothing. You're just going to sit there and think about what you've done kind of situation. That's what I always am like doing forever. Sometimes it's not so tragic. Other times it's like I have been stuck in a thought forever. And it's like, that's what I master. But going back to it, in those moments, that's how you can access, you know, time and space. So last week we talked about, I got all the downloads of Paul, and then Paul came out at the very end of it. He's my favorite apostle. But we don't talk about Noah. Can you imagine? You know, and that's what we talked about Joseph last week. We talk about Job. We talk about Jesus. We talk about how Mother Mary got her calling. I tell you about fucking Gabriel all the time, how he fucks up your life. He puts me into tears thinking about this. It's the angel that brings your calling to you. Who is it? The angel of death is what I looked at. I was thinking about Azrael this morning. He's not a bad angel. He's there. You know, why am I thinking about him? Because I'm going through a transition. He helps you go through the death, transformation, and rebirth in whatever form that looks like. If you're doing it in the physical, he's there with you. If you're literally physically dying, he's going to go with you through that death process as you transform and until you're in your rebirthed. He holds your hand until you're in your new body. All the way, yeah. Have you seen that movie, Meet Joe Black? Very kind angel. And they try to paint him as the Grim Reaper. You know what I mean? Because people are afraid, cloaked in darkness. Da-da-da-da. That's your fears, dude. You were afraid of dying. It has nothing to do with who came to get you. And that's it. They take the form. Your mind creates the form, to be honest. That's what I was like. The angels aren't a bunch of dudes. They're not dudes. They take a form that's comforting to the eyes. They're not dudes. They always paint the angels as dudes. A bunch of, buff dudes with long hair and wings. You and your brains, not everything has to look like you, right? And that's what it is. It's like anything outside of what looks like you is deemed ugly or strange or foul or, not likable, not digestible. And it's like, that's why the aliens don't fuck with you. That's why nobody fucks with you, because you want them to look just like you. I never seen nothing like you guys said too. That dead people look all zombie and cut up and bullet holes and they got blood coming out. I have never seen nothing like that in the spiritual world. I've only seen that type of shit, and I've never seen anything evil in the spiritual world as to what you guys are. Going back to it, all the callings, right? So imagine being Noah. I'm resurrecting Noah right now. I'm taking you to Noah's life. God comes to Noah and tells him to build an ark. First off, motherfucker, I don't even have a boat or a canoe of my own, and you want me to go build a fucking city? We built this city. What do you want me to build it for? I'm gonna send all my creatures to you. Like, what kind of creatures? Every single one I ever had. What? I don't like animals. This is not his conversation. This is mine. Because I'm in his skin. I'm not taking this lightly. Okay, so then you go back, we talked about Joseph, we talked about Moses, we talked about all of them, bro. Again, Paul is my favorite. Paul's out there with his fucking beating stick looking for Christians to go beat them down. And God just shuts the lights off, bro. He turns off his eyes. He goes blind. And he's locked in his mind. You have to read the story, bro. And he's like, all he can hear is the voice of God. Why are you looking for me? It is I you hunt. Can you imagine? Lights out. Lights out. And then I tell you the story. Later on, he's the motherfucker in jail. Sending emails and notes out to everyone, scribes to all the countries about how great God is. We're not selling this story. Jesus is hanging on the cross. God is great. God is great. I'm over here, homeless as a motherfucker going through hell. God is great. God is great. Fucking Job. They took his family, his skin's bubbling, everything. God is great. God is great. Fucking Daniel. He's going into the fucking den. God is great. God is great. We look like some straight assholes out here, God. Let's talk about the first asshole, though. Can you imagine being his wife? Are you okay? God has come to me. He wants us to build a boat and sail the fuck away. He's gonna flood this shit. It's going down. And we're in charge of all his little animals. Ew. He had kids too. We're not talking just one animal, bro. We're talking every animal he ever created. Every animal. Some of them are cute and cuddly. The rest of them are absolutely terrifying. You're gonna send me 2 of each of those? Are they gonna get along? Where am I supposed to put them? What about the shit? What about? He didn't have no questions. You don't ask God. I do. I question everything. I question all his authority. Can you imagine? That's Mary. Who was the angel that came? Fucking Gabriel, that motherfucker. Hey, you're gonna have God's kid. Wait, what? Why? Me? Who? Huh? How? And she lost her house, her fucking everything. Had to go out in the middle of the desert and give birth to fucking nothing. Only for them to hang her kid. Can you imagine that? She took care of him his whole life. He finally left home and he got fucked up, bro. He got fucked up. You could say she didn't prepare him for the world outside. Just kidding. It was his own church people that did it. You would have never suspected the church was going to do this to their own. The Messiah at that. What a crazy story, right? And that's just really it is. David and Goliath and his little stones. Sticks and stones, bitch. No, you got this. Bro, it's a fucking... You want me to go out? Yes, you got this. You got this. And that's, Moses. What the hell am I going to do? How am I going to save your people? Dude, the calling on your life is such a heavy calling, and nobody's going to answer that call. You're like, you want to send that motherfucker to voicemail for sure. We have animals, I listen to Steve's Love Tarot And he didn't tell me something I didn't know. He made me aware that I should have shared it sooner, is what it was. He saw an owl on one of his cards, and he felt it was his responsibility to tell you that the barned owls are going extinct in Ireland. They're not extinct everywhere, but they're going extinct, period, in Ireland. And it's like, he did all that work to save all these animals, and it was our job to keep them alive. To keep them alive. And then you could really, that's where the Hindus get in and really crucify you for eating them. And that's what it is these animals, bro. God saved, he chose their lives over human life. As I say that, I feel this weird feeling in my fucking ovaries. It's in my sacral. Like you can pinpoint, yeah, I feel fine until I feel something. That's what I do all day. Feelings. Feelers. Anyways, can you imagine? Can you imagine? Now, as crazy that is, that Bible is full of stories. You know what I mean? And then, it gets to people like me when I start reading these new age religions. You know what I mean? Like myself, no way would God just choose some fucking random... I'm not some random bitch, but that's what he always did, was choose random people. You must listen to Sangaru's fucking awakening story. He's just chilling like a villain. He's not a bad guy, but he's not a religious guy. He's not anything. God, you know what I mean? Who woke him up? Wake up, wake up. You know what I mean? This guy that I read about, the Melchizedek order, and he's the whole, he's the founder of it, transmitted from Melchizedek. It literally been, you know what I mean? Who is what? Enoch. He's literally seen the gates and seen the story, and his job is to tell the story. He's a scribe. He's a messenger of the gods, right? Like myself. Well, I'm goddess, so, we work together on this. But going back to it, it's like, they all just got called. He was 33 years old, and his story, the beginning of that book, is amazing because it's like he's just following a fucking fart in the wind like I was, and he met another fucking windy person that was on the same journey. Just ends up in his house, and she's like, Melchizedek sent me. You know this invisible being that's been talking to me? And then you go back to my Palladians. Again, this is a woman that's doing scientific work with dolphin minds. The understanding of their sonars and their programming and all of this, the complexities of them, right? By tuning into this kind of understanding, she literally, started communicating with outside beings. She became a scribe again. You know what I mean? And it's like people deny people's callings, but they've been unbelievably miraculous since the beginning of time. And the callings are always the same, to tell humanity to get it right and to, how to get it right. They're not rules, they're guides. Every single one of them. I pull out all those religious books, which we're going to do tomorrow. They're all guides to how to, to how to get through your suffering and how to spiritually evolve through this lifetime. No matter where I pull it out of, dude. That's what I was like. The Quran, even it's like, how can you hate us if we still... And that's it. It's like we all have the foundational beliefs, but then the books come in with the rules and says who's not right and who's, It's like, well, if everybody lives by these rules, then why ain't everybody right? It's all right across the board. What is it across the board in every book you read? As above, so below. You shall reap what you sow. Do unto others as you should do unto yourself. That's what it is in every book. Treat people as an extension of yourself, which is just kindness, bro. It comes down to fucking kindness. But there's a lot of stuff that comes that to be kind, you need to have all these other skill sets. Compassion, understanding, forgiveness, patience, long suffering. You need to be, you know what I mean? All of this, joyful. You need to be, mentally fucking, aware, emotionally available. All these things come into play of being a kind person. Jesus listened. He didn't just talk, he listened. He didn't speak, he taught. He didn't have these teachings. These teachings were given. They were messages from God to teach these people. He was fully aware of what these people were soon to do to him. But he had to get the message out before. He didn't go knocking on doors. God told him where to go and when to go, which was nothing more than a voice in his head. Some of them saw apparitions, like I can see, the spirit world, you know, as I spoke about the other day. But they're callings. You cannot deny, or you mean that's what people do, and that's how they miss their callings. It doesn't matter. He's going to keep calling. You can put that shit on voicemail if you want. I be doing it. Sometimes I'm like, no, not today, Satan. It's just God. He wants to take you on an adventure of your life today. Every day for the rest of my life? Yeah, life is an adventure. Jesus Christ. And really, the most minor experiences, as I showed you, is an adventure through your mind and through your heart when you really experience it. And that's what it is like you guys do so much, but you don't truly experience what you're doing because you're on your way to doing something else. But when you just sit in everything that you do, it's very powerful. You've never done it like this before, is what they say. I've never seen it like this before. So you're supposed to take your time and enjoy the here and now. But going back to it, staying in the here and now, that was it. It's fucking over 100 degrees in most everywhere. I seen it pop up like 3 times yesterday. I seen Arkansas was like 107. Somewhere else it reached like 114. We literally were at 98, probably places were 100, and that's obscene. It's a little too early for that. Everybody knows that we get that hot in fucking August, September. It'd be like burning, bro. Like, don't go outside. It's too early for that. With that being said, you know, put out some water for the animals. It may not have been your calling then, but I'm calling you to do it now. In remembrance of the ancestors and what we truly were made to do, as, you know what I mean? Adam and Eve and Lilith over there in the garden. God's fucking world is our playground. And we got to take care of the, you know what I mean, the creatures, and, you know, play nice with the fucking kids on his playground, or he's going to get upset with us. And he's not going to be upset, but it's just, that's what he hopes for us. And he has obviously hopes. And we're going to be nice to everybody all the time. You want me to be like Christ all the time? Jesus Christ, I need you. Invocate Christ all the time. For real, just put out some water. And it's pretty cool. You'll start to see the animals, you know what I mean? Like, Mr. Plums he has 3 bird baths. But he's an old man and carrying fucking 2 gallons of water to each of those bird baths throughout the yard with that fucking humidity. Oh, God. Last night, I just want to point this out. I love Colorado so much. I went through a lot of places over the last couple years. Really fucked up ass southern places. So when the sun goes down in Colorado, the cold air hits and it really drops the temperature. So like last night at 11 o'clock when we were having a fire drill, I was already outside walking my dog when it happened. I just saw I had my headphones on and I saw the lights on the building lighting up. I was like, oh shit. I called my kids. I was like, grab my car keys. We're gonna be out here for a minute. Out there, it won't cool down. You'll be just as sweaty at night and you'll wake up twice as sweaty in the morning. And then you got the smell of the paper mill, which makes you really want to puke and die. But going back to it, like, we'd fill up those bird baths and every bird and a fucking, I mean, I don't know if it was his trees too, because he has the amazing oak trees that provide all this beautiful shade and fresh air. But every bird and squirrel and we saw all kinds of shit. The rabbits, we saw fucking, this baby raccoon came down. You know, they need water and food. And that's what I said last night, is you're going to do an offering for Hecate. You're at a crossroads in your life. You're going to go and make a plate of food at night. Don't do this during the day. At night, you're going to put a plate of food out at the crossroads, right, as an offering. Well, during a day like this, during the summer solstice, put out a bowl of water as an offering and a remembrance to you're not the only person on this planet. Those animals are souls. They have life. They don't have the brain, but they have a soul. And that soul needs, you know, nourishment, and we can do something as simple as that. Okay, I'm gonna let this go and, you know, save the world. You can save the world with just the smallest acts, bro. It don't take much. Oh God, here comes that fucking, why do I keep seeing that? This is the second time in fucking 6 hours, 12 hours, 24 hours, from the Little Mermaid. She's all, it won't take much, just your voice. That's all God gave you, bro. Your voice is your most powerful tool. Make sure you use it wisely. Hey, love yous. Laters. Bye-bye now.